This is a great conference. This is the premier optical conference in Europe. It's got all the right people here, and it's a great place to meet those people. I think different people would answer this in different ways, but certainly from the perspective of a long-haul optical vendor, I would say the three big things are capacity on the fiber in the form of super channels, coherent super channels. The second aspect would be the converged platform to deliver that capacity but in a very efficient way, and that's integrating OTN switching with that super channel capacity. And then the third aspect is then to control it with an automated control plane. GMPLS has been around for a long time. It's a very well-established control plane, but it's a distributed control plane. There are things you can solve by moving that distributed control plane into a centralized control plane. Now that's what the industry is starting to call transport SDN, the transport version of the software-defined network. And we've actually seen a number of panels, a number of presentations at the conference discussing those very topics. Now, of course, as somebody that works for Infinera, I'm bound to say, oh, it's been received in a fantastic way. So instead, I'm going to refer you to market data. In other words, the analysts have gone out, they've measured what are people buying. And the fact is now that 30% of all 100 gig wavelengths that are out there and deployed are actually deployed as 500 gig super channels from Infinera. In any one quarter, we're probably responsible for about half of those wavelengths. So to say that it's been a phenomenal acceptance by the market is actually an understatement, if anything. So the intelligence comes from the top. I mentioned GMPLS, I've mentioned transport SDN. When those orders come down from the control plane, they have to be delivered by a data plane that is completely deterministic. In other words, if you have an all-optical ROADM, you can never be sure if a light path has got the right kind of optical signals-noise ratio to make it across the new directed path. With a digital network, you can be absolutely sure. It's completely deterministic. So that's the first thing. It's got to be deterministic. The second aspect is you have to have spare capacity right down on the fiber in order for protection services or for new service provisioning to take place. A super channel can allow you to do that. So for example, Infinera, we sell our 500 gig super channels in 100 gigabit chunks. We call that instant bandwidth. So all of the wavelength engineering has been done. All of that capacity is there waiting for services to use it. And using instant bandwidth, at a click of a mouse, you can get that capacity. So that's the second aspect.